Oh, so I wasn't just wrong about Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, I was like really wrong about it. Hey Pokemon Masters, Toby here, and I think we all agree the meme is dead. Yes, okay, I am still way more excited for Legends Arceus than I am Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, but I'm not excited for Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl anymore. After this Pokemon Presents, Game Freak has just like, I feel like regained my trust that I think was a little bit broken over the last 5 years. I think over the last 5 years, the whole time doing this channel, there's been that debate of like, okay, am I making a lot of justifications for Pokemon here? Don't get me wrong, I love the world, I love the characters, I love the games, and I love exploring the lore of the Pokemon world, which is what I do here on the channel. But when it comes down to the actual gameplay, X and Y don't really do it for me or Aster. I prefer to play the originals. Sun and Moon was a great game, lovely region, but you know, I can't really replay it because there's so much dialogue. Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, you know, we're sitting there going, give us something good, Game Freak, and they gave us, you know, more or less the same games again with a couple of additions, which cool additions, but again, once I've played it the once, haven't really felt incentivized to go back and play it again. Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, actually surprisingly refreshing, really like those ones. And then came Sword and Shield, which obviously I enjoyed. It's set in Galar, which is based off of the UK, where I am from, but you know, I think even Game Freak knows there was a lot of discussion online about how the national decks thing and the trees, and I think Game Freak knew what the hype was going to be going into these Gen 4 remakes. We've been really excited about them. What would they look like? What would they contain? And when they had that initial trailer where the quality of the games didn't look amazing, and we all saw the words game footage is not final, but I think we all kind of went, is it really not final? Because if it's not, that's great, but like, I don't know, something just makes me wonder, is this what we're going to get? And it turns out, no. Oh my goodness. Look at this side by side. Doesn't this look so much better? I've talked in the past about how much I love Link's Awakening. I think stylistically it is a beautiful game. It's one of the most beautiful games on the Switch. And I think Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl has nailed the aesthetic that it's going for. And it carries forward the spirit of Diamond and Pearl. It definitely is a faithful remake. I see that. Me and Phoebe watched it together on stream and we were absolutely blown away by it. We were also completely blown away by Legends Arceus. I think when you look at the Legends Arceus gameplay, you can see that conceptually it looks great. I think graphically it needs some work still, but given the jump between Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl Trailer 1 versus Trailer 2, I think it's pretty safe to say that work's gonna go into it. Game Freak knows what's going on here. But the actual game itself looks great. Now, let's go through the pros and the cons, and let's get the cons out of the way first. I think the big con, and the one that people have been tweeting me a lot about, is the Battle Frontier. This is a faithful remake of Diamond and Pearl, and so the Battle Frontier that only appeared in Platinum, that actually came from Heart Gold Soul Silver, is not there. Instead, there's just the Battle Tower. And a lot of people think back to the time of Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, where we didn't get the whole Battle Frontier, but I don't think those two things are equal. The Battle Frontier in Emerald version was just, it is a huge island, completely immersive, all of these facilities, it felt like part of the world. Whereas, and I'm not trying to argue that less is better, don't get me wrong, if they had added it in, that definitely would have been better. It is still a con, but the Battle Frontier from Platinum and Heart Gold and Soul Silver, it doesn't have anywhere near the same impact for me as the one from Emerald did, and I played neither of them very equally. I just liked exploring the island of the Battle Frontier from Hoenn. It was a whole anime saga about this Battle Frontier and earning all of the various battle symbols. With Platinum, Heart Gold, Soul Silver, that frontier did not have that. I just think that Emerald's Battle Frontier was such a core and important part to being in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, especially if they were doing this Delta episode, incorporating Emerald's elements of Emerald. So the fact that it's not here in Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, okay, it's a shame. I would always, you know, again, argue more is better, but it's not make or break for me. The fact that there's a battle tower, that is enough to keep me satisfied. The other two cons that I can think of, again, I'll get them out of the way before I hit onto the pros. First of all, as far as we can tell, it does not look like it's going to have a national Pokedex that runs past Arceus. Victini onwards, it just doesn't look like it's happening. We've seen Pokemon that didn't appear until the post-game of Diamond and Pearl in the trailer, like I think there's a Lantern there, and I don't think Lantern's in the Diamond Diamond Pearl or Platinum Pokedex until the post-game, so that's absolutely fantastic. We've seen Pokemon that appear in the Sinnoh Pokedex only in Platinum, but they've been placed specially in the underground, the Grand Underground area and the Pokemon hideaways like Houndoom and Slugma. I think it's a great way to ride that balance between being a faithful remake, but then also incorporating the elements of Platinum that they really needed in Diamond and Pearl. But as far as anything beyond Victini, we don't know if it'll be in the game. We don't know if Sylveon will be in the game, which is the only evolution to Pokemon that have been released after Diamond and Pearl came out. Well, that apart from Weirdeer and Baskia Legion, first time saying those names on the channel. But at the same time, while we haven't seen any evidence for it, it has also not been completely debunked. So I'm still holding out hope that they do, even if not on release, maybe after release, maybe when they do the Pokemon Home integration in February next year. I assume it'll be February next year. That's when Pokemon Day is. Maybe they do some kind of update patch which allows for everything from Victini, Unova onwards to be integrated into the game. But I realize that is really high hopes, and I think it's very unlikely now. Bit of a shame, bit of a missed opportunity. Would have allowed for so many fun ways to replay the Sinnoh region with teams from Unova and Galar and Alola, but could happen yet, so I'm not counting it out just yet. And then finally, the big other third con is, if this is a faithful remake, what about the Distortion world? What about Platinum content? We know that there are some characters from Platinum that appear in the game, like the lady who gives you the Gracidia flower for Shaman, but that's just for introducing forms. I'm sure that the Greasius orb will be available somewhere in this world. But like, I don't even need the story to change. The story can still be Spearpillar, Dialga, and Palkia, just maybe in the post-game, please, please, Pokemon, I beg you. Even if it is as simple as you go to the Send-Off Spring, where in Diamond and Pearl's post-game you can catch Giratina, and there's the portal, and instead of going and battling Giratina in the Send-Off Spring cemetery, you actually enter the Distortion world, and they've created the Distortion world as a nice post-game surprise. That would be absolutely amazing. Just adding the one area, you don't even need to give story to it. Anyone who has played the original will know what it's about. But the more faithful these remakes look, the more unlikely that looks to be by the day. However, pros, it's not a completely faithful remake, because first big pro, I guess there's a bunch of them, character customization and Pokemon following you. Character customization is obviously because they can't have the game corner anymore because of the way that gambling laws have changed over time and like representations of that in video games. So they've traded out the game corner and instead they have character customization. This was sorely missed from Mega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. We didn't expect it for Diamond and Pearl because we thought, you know, these are remakes. But being able to customize your character in a Pokemon game is so important to the player. It is so important to making us feel like this is our adventure. And actually, to add into that sense of our adventure, you've also got like seals are back on Pokeballs. We love to see it. And Pokemon following you. And I don't know if you noticed this in the trailer, when Dawn's Piplup is following her and she gets into battle, she doesn't send Piplup out of a Pokeball. Piplup is just there on the battlefield ready to go because it's not coming out of a Pokeball. It's been following her. It's a small detail, you might have missed it, but I think it's really cool. And every Pokemon following you might be a big reason as to why they won't do all of the Pokemon past Arceus in the Pokedex, adding them into the game at a future date, because they might feel that they need to add in those following sprites, though I would argue it's not necessary. Everything Arceus and before can follow us, everything after Arceus doesn't have to. I still just prefer to have those Pokemon in the game. You know, you can put a bit of text over my Tepig's Pokeball saying, this Pokemon doesn't like coming out of its Pokeball. That's fine, just do that. Just have them in the game. I digress. Pokemon following you, obviously, it looks a lot closer to Heart Gold, Soul Silver's Pokemon following you than Sword and Shield's. I think Pokemon following you and being in the environment is now more of a mainstay of Pokemon, and I hope that they continue to have it in all of the games going forward. Again, they realize how much the community loves this feature. It makes you feel like it's you in the world of Pokemon with your favorite Pokemon by your side. Exploring the world with you, it adds to that immersion in such a big way. There are also other Pokemon in the overworld. I don't know if you've noticed this, but there was this little shot where there's like the hallowed tower and there's just a Ghastly floating around. Is that like an overworld Ghastly like in Let's Go where there's Pokemon in the environment, or is that just like, is that a trainer's Ghastly? I don't know what's going on with that. We also see, again, new features being added. There's the Sinnoh Grand Underground where there are all of these Pokemon living out in underground dens. The way that they've handled the underground in this, like resurrecting features that are truly loved, like the fossil digging feature that looks, you know, more or less one for one the same, and then introducing additional stuff, really expanding on the secret base aspect, as well as these like underground Pokemon hideaways, which by the way, we see the Munchlax. Munchlax is so hard to get in Diamond and Pearl version. Famously, there's a 1% Munchlax that you can only get in various honey trees. It's a whole thing. Adding in the additional Pokemon for the Pokedex this way, allowing us to have more creativity about how we go about collecting more Pokemon for our team, having more to do in the underground. This is all huge positives. Also, if you've looked on the map, the PAL Park is back, but there's like little tunnel systems that are leading into the base of Mount Cornet. And the PAL Park was used in the original to transfer Pokemon up from Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald. So my thinking here was, oh, I'm Fire Red and Leaf Green, I guess. My thinking here was like, okay, is this how we get our Pokemon from home? That doesn't really make sense. So I wonder what they're gonna do with the PAL Park here. Maybe it's a safari location where Pokemon from the ancient past have been kept for a while. Maybe you'll be able to transfer Pokemon from Legends Arceus to the PAL Park. That would be cool. Imagine if you could get Weirdeer and Basculegion and a couple of other, and like the Braviary in Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl when eventually we get Legends Arceus. And again, Legends Arceus is fundamental for this. I'll talk more about Legends Arceus. I've done a bunch of theories. I'll talk more about my feelings on it in the future, but generally speaking, I think the fact that Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl are faithful remakes and they're not covering too much new ground while enhancing the original experience is fine. Because if we want more originality and lore with the Sinnoh region, we've got that too in Legends Arceus, which I am super stoked for. I am more excited to see what Legends Arceus will become, but don't get me wrong, I am so excited now to play Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl. When the first trailers came out, I didn't care. I just thought, okay, I'll get them, I'll play them, and then the second time I play through Sinnoh after that will be Platinum version. Now I don't feel that at all. The world looks brilliant. The character customization makes me feel like it's gonna be a really immersive experience. I wanna see what all the new features are like, and I'm glad they've added in some and they've not left it exactly identical. It's gonna be the perfect stopover between November and Legends Arceus, but on top of that, I think when I go to play Sinnoh games in the future, I might choose Platinum, I might choose Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl. For that, we'll just have to wait and see. But I want to know, has your mind changed about these games? Mine certainly has. I was very, very wrong. Thank you all for watching. And of course, so hi Pokemon Masters.
This is Ash Ketchum. You just watched a video by Birdkeeper Toby. That makes you a Pokemon Master.
Thank you so much, those of you who have gone above and beyond to support me on Patreon, and a special shout out to the big patrons of this month, JD Gottlich, PokeBliss, Matty Bar, and Michael Hornschuch. Thank you.